So I actually got back yesterday from California, and I've been spending the weekends at my sister's house in Kingsburg, California. And my sister and her husband, they're farmers. So they have 40 acres of peaches and plums. And it's beautiful, dude.
What's like the season?
What do you
mean? When do they harvest? Like when can you?
I'm not positive. I think like June or something like that. It just depends when you start the process. But right now, where they're at in the process is all their trees have blossomed. So it's like the most beautiful time. And I was staying in our farmhouse, and it's a big, nice house. A lot of my siblings came over, and we had a fire. And Brittany decides to start telling us about how her house is super haunted. So the person who owned it before had their elderly mom and dad living there, and the mom died in the house. And Brittany swears on everything that she sees out of the corner of her eye a lady standing in doorways all the time. She says she has never felt scared, never felt it was malicious, but it's always there. And then Brittany has an empty room that's right behind her bed. So like her bed's up against a wall in her room, and then behind that is just an empty room. And almost every night she hears just a knocking.
Oh, I don't
right behind
like
her head.
that, bro.
I know. And when she told me, I was like terrified, but she was more just annoyed. She's like, it's really annoying. I'm trying to sleep. So do you remember when Reed talked about how he legitimately sees things in his sleep?
Oh, yeah, because you guys were talking about how you do and he does.
So I full on hallucinate in my sleep sometimes. And it's not I don't know how to explain it. I'm not asleep. I'm awake, but I still feel dreamy. Does that make sense at all?
Sure. No, yeah.
The weirdest things I've ever seen is I've opened my eyes, and don't tell my wife any of this because she won't like it. But I've opened my eyes, and my door's wide open, and sticking straight horizontal in from the bottom is a face looking at me, and then it just starts to move like up the door. I've seen at an Airbnb, I woke up and I looked up. The smoke detector was open and a camera had come out and was looking at us. And right when I looked at it, it went like this and went up in.
You told me that.
What?
One of them, I looked over in my closet and I saw just 2 feet standing on the shelf, like at the top of my closet. So all I could see was like the bottom of 2 feet standing.
Oh, I don't like that.
And what happens is I'm awake and I'm staring at it, and I jump up and I look at it, and it takes like 10 seconds before it really goes away. And then I'm like, ooh. So I'm sleeping at Brittany's house, huge California king, it's the most comfortable bed I've ever laid in my life.
Ooh.
And I had a stack of pillows to my left where I set my phone, and I went to sleep.
Damn, your pillow had A1 comfort.
Dude. It was, my phone, it was like on a
You tucked it all in.
Yeah. Good night. So I set my phone down, went to sleep, and I always sleep on my side. So I open my eyes in the middle of sleeping, and I see someone sitting on the sides of the pillow, and they're holding my phone open like this, like towards me.
Oh.
And right when I open my eyes, they drop it, and my phone slides off the pillow behind the pillows, and the person ducks. And I sit straight up in bed.
It's like, bro, watch this TikTok.
So my heart's racing. There's someone in the room. I sit up and I stare at the pillow, grab all the pillows, and I throw them to the floor. There's no one there. My phone's not there. My phone is in the bed with me. I'm like, man, that was freaky. So it took me a while to go back to sleep because my adrenaline is spiked, right? Next morning, we're downstairs. Brittany had bought us James, her husband, shout out James, bought us the dankest breakfast burritos ever. So we're eating breakfast. We're having fun.
McDonald's, right?
Having fruit. Yeah, dude, have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Weird. And Brittany was like, I was just asked how she slept, and she's like, oh, the knocking was so bad last night. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And in the middle of the night, around 2 a.m., I don't know how, but my phone fell off the bed. And she's like, I just ignored it and went back to sleep.
Bro.
And I was like,
ghost
your phone
is trying to check their email or something.
I was like, your phone fell? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I straight hallucinated my phone falling off. as well. And she's like, "What time?" And I was like, "I don't know." In the middle of the night, I didn't check the time though. But I don't know.
What a nuisance of a ghost. So irritating,
It's just
bro. Menace to society.
So she
How
said,
she's like standing in the middle of the doorway. It's
"Well,
like you know how the ghosts like there's ghosts that stay in the corner
Yeah.
and look at you above your bed. Like that's fine.
one's
You're out of
blocking
my
portals.
way. Like I'm trying to get through. Like
So she said she like knows of the old lady, but she's had a feeling that there's also a young child there, and that one kind of made more sense for me on what was happening. Just a kid trying to play some games on my phone or something. Hey, you got any games?
You got any games?
you got Temple Run,
Yeah.
Subway Surfer.
Flappy Bird?
Name some more games. Dude, half of our humor sometimes is we get stuck and we just keep naming stuff. You ever notice that?
Stupid, dude. Stupid.
I hate us.